hablando en inglés, que es que todos ellos allá. Nosotros ya lo platicamos. Eyes out of Jersey!
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 No detention, deportations, no family separation!
No detention, deportation, no family separation!
No detention, deportation, no family separation!
No detention, deportation, no family separation!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Up with liberation, down with deportation!
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 Eyes out of Jersey!
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 Give me 1 minute. Tell me what democracy looks like. ¿Te acuerdas? Okay.
Gotta go.
This is what democracy looks like.
Okay.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Sin papeles.
Sin miedo.
Sin papeles.
Sin miedo.
Sin papeles.
Sin miedo.
No papers.
No fear.
No papers.
No fear.
No papers.
No fear.
No papers.
No fear.
¿Qué otra? Hacemos, a ver. ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Y cómo?
Luchando, creando poder popular. Luchando, creando poder popular.
Luchando,
Creando poder popular.
El pueblo
Unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Las calles son del pueblo. ¿Y el pueblo dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles exigiendo libertad. Las calles son del pueblo. ¿Y el pueblo dónde está? El pueblo está en las calles exigiendo libertad. Eyes out of Jersey!
Eyes out of Jersey.
Eyes out of Jersey!
Eyes out of Jersey.
No detention, deportation, no family separation!
No detention, deportation, no family separation.
Ow.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Just give it a minute.
Hey, it's Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. John Farina and I are on the ground in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Our second live stream of the day. Earlier, we reported from Newark, New Jersey, where Mayor Ross Baraka was being arraigned. We are now in Elizabeth, New Jersey, reporting from the No Ice Jails in Jersey protest, again in Elizabeth, New Jersey, where we are in front of the Union City Administration building, where, again, the No Ice Jails protest is currently getting started. There's a small group behind us right now. We expect it to get a little bit more lively, and we do expect a march at some point tonight as well. So, again, stay with us. I think it's going to be a lively night here. New Jersey is quickly becoming the epicenter of the immigration policy On the ground, there are currently 2 immigration detention centers in operation in New Jersey. So there is Delaney Hall, which actually has 1,200 beds, the largest immigration detention center on the East Coast that has been gaining a lot of public attention after, again, Ras Baraka was arrested last Friday for attempting to conduct a congressional oversight visit. There is also another immigration detention center as well here in Elizabeth, New Jersey, called Core Civic. So again, New Jersey is quickly becoming, the place on the ground where all of the material effects of this immigration policy is kind of coming together. This protest was organized in response to, in addition to ICE setting up shop here in New Jersey, Ras Baraka's arraignment this morning, the 2 immigration detention centers, and ICE's reign of terror in communities all over the country, so not just here in New Jersey. Baraka was arrested last Friday in front of Delaney Hall, and there's been a lot of attention on immigration detention centers, and again, a lot of this is happening in New Jersey. The protests have been ongoing throughout the week. I spoke with another organizer just a little while ago. They've been organizing and protesting here once a month in Elizabeth against Core Civic. So again, the other facility that is already in operation here. Baraka has been a vocal opponent of the facility, which he says lacks the proper permitting in Newark. So in Delaney Hall, and again, this is the second detention center. So I'm going to read a little bit from the New Jersey Monitor, who covered this facility in Elizabeth. So from the New Jersey Monitor, organizers who visit migrants jailed inside the facility said the conditions are unsafe and read messages from detainees reporting bad water, dirty uniforms, and no access to medicine or soap. Andre Berger, part of an organization that visits detainees, that said because the Elizabeth Detention Center is used as a processing center, inmates are not given items like toothpaste until their 3rd day jailed inside. Detainees who criticize conditions are retaliated against by having their visitation rights or communication access revoked, Berger said. Governor Phil Murphy in 2021 signed a law banning immigrant detention, but Core Civic, so again the facility in Elizabeth, sued the state to remain open. A federal judge in 2023 sided with the prison company and said the state cannot ban the federal government from contracting with private firms to detain immigrants. New Jersey officials appealed that decision, but until that appeal is heard and decided, New Jersey is forced to allow places like EDC to exist, said Berger. And what I heard from one of the organizers just a little while ago is that Geo Group had actually joined Core Civic's lawsuit to remain open in New Jersey, and that is what in part allowed them to open Delaney Hall get the agreement in February, the $1 billion agreement for 15 years that they have with the government. That they think is going to bring in, $60 million in revenue each year. So that's how they were able to do that, by joining this lawsuit with Core Civic. And while Elizabeth is not his city, Mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, is running for governor, and this facility is actually only 20 minutes away from the facility in Newark, so we would hope that he does turn some of his attention to this facility as well, considering how close it is to the other facility. And if he is running for governor, I would think that this would be something that he would be interested in fighting against as well. And more from the New Jersey Monitor on the Elizabeth facility, Core Civic. The Newark site may not be the only place ICE will house immigrant detainees in New Jersey. Documents obtained by advocacy groups last year revealed ICE is also looking to open an immigrant jail at the Albert M. Bo Robinson Treatment Center, a 1,000-bed facility in Trenton. President Trump also wants to begin holding undocumented immigrants at military sites like Joint Base McGuire, Dix, Lakehurst. So again, all of this is happening at the same time that the White House is considering suspending habeas corpus, so the right to due process, the right to not be unlawfully imprisoned. This could apply to anybody. It's not just immigrants who should be concerned about this. This is all of us. Anyone who speaks out against the government, anyone who says anything critical, anyone who says anything that this administration does not like could be wrongfully imprisoned without the right to due process. So we are going to be on the ground here. We have been reporting again all day from New Jersey on first Mayor Baraka's arraignment, and now we are reporting on the No ICE Jails protest. So we have speakers going on behind me, so we'll turn to the speakers and we will talk to you throughout the stream.
Went down to D.C. to defend birthright citizenship. At the same time, we joined Mayor Ras Baraka at his pretrial hearing in Newark for the work that he did, the courage that he had last week and for the last 2 months to say, shut down Delaney Hall. And we learned at that pretrial hearing that they had decided, that Alina Habba and the Trump administration had decided to move forward and take Mayor Ras Baraka to court. And tonight, we're here because for the last 2 months, we have committed to be here every single month until Union County makes public statements and we see what ends up happening with the jail just down this block. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Less than 3 months ago now, Union County announced that they would quietly vote to place the Union County Jail Complex up for bid. What you'll see on formal statements is that the county has a fiduciary responsibility to explore opportunities to bring in revenue for the county. Our question back is, why now? Why a jail that has been empty for nearly 7 years? Why now? Who more now than ever is interested in buying a jail? We have asked for public commitments, and on March 27th, the commissioners voted 6-3 to put up the Union County Jail for auction, so that they could collect bids and complete and meet their fiduciary responsibility. Every day since, we have asked for public commitments that a jail would never see the light of day, that an ICE detention center would never see the light of day, that a private prison company that contracted with the federal enforcement would never see the light of day. We have yet to receive those public commitments. There were 3 commissioners who voted no, who said to not bring up the jail for auction at all. That was Commissioner Sergio Granados, Commissioner Williams, and Commissioner Lourdes Leon. The rest moved forward to place the jail up for bid. What we witnessed last week, or for the last 2 months rather, I should say, many folks know that Delaney Hall entered into contract with the private prison company Geo Group 2 months ago. Since then, they have not sought out city permits, they have not completed fire inspection, and as a result, the city of Newark and mayor of Newark have been behind Delaney Hall and Geo Group, saying that they needed to meet proper permitting. They have refused and they moved ahead. Despite a work stoppage order, they pushed ahead. And last week, every day, for 5 days, Mayor Baraka went himself to the doors of the mass deportation machine, went to Delaney Hall, and said that he was issuing citations, that Delaney Hall did not have the ability to operate. Every single day, the situation escalated. Every day, you saw more armed guards outside of the building. And what happened on Friday, was a time's coming. On Friday, Mayor Baraka was unlawfully targeted and arrested for having trespassed. We know, as many of us that make the road to New Jersey were present when the arrest happened, that this is not true. He did not trespass. He was invited past the gates. But more than that, he had a mayoral responsibility to make sure that the building was safe. Our congressional delegation had a federal responsibility to conduct oversight. But what does this teach us right now about Union County? Well, the county has made public positions that they would set parameters, right? That if in the event that they would auction and they would sell off to a private prison company, that they would set parameters to make sure that they were only housing folks that had committed only the worst of offenses. We know now that that is not true. We've known for a long time that that's not true. that the Trump administration is hell-bent on detaining U.S. citizens simply for dissenting and for living out and carrying out their First Amendment rights. So having an ICE jail and the fact that we haven't gotten public statements in the last week is unconscionable. To open the jail for bid and to consider that we could ever set parameters on ICE or a private prison company is insane. To invite ICE is to invite chaos. We see how they have arrested a sitting mayor. What do we think would happen here? ICE out of Jersey! 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 So, estamos aquí hoy porque estuvimos acá por estos ya últimos 3 meses diciendo que el edificio no debe estar vendido a las corporaciones que van a trabajar o contratar con ICE, no debe ser vendido a ICE directamente. Y lo que hemos visto en la última semana es que un oficial que tenía el derecho de hacer una investigación, una inspección, y fue negado, y encima que fue negado, fue arrestado. Y estamos acá para decir qué piensa el condado, que va a tener la opción de poner parámetros encima si tenemos un cárcel, que van a asegurar que solamente va a detener algunas personas. Si ahora mismo en la ciudad de Newark la ciudad no puede controlar quién está arrestando, ¿cómo vamos a pensar que va a ser diferente acá? Va a ser el mismo. Invitando a ICE acá es invitando un caos. ¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
¿Y cómo?
Luchando, creando poder popular.
Luchando, creando poder popular. And for those reasons, we've made a commitment that we'll be here every single month until we find out what happens to that ICE jail, to make sure that it's converted into things that our community needs. Housing, workforce development, art spaces. There are lots of needs in this community. We don't need another ICE jail. Para empezar, voy a invitar a Nidia Rodríguez, miembro de esta Camino de Nueva Jersey, para compartir algunas palabras. I'm going to invite Nidia, member of Make the Road.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas
Mi nombre es
tardes.
Nidia Rodríguez, soy miembro del Make the Road de Status Camino. Bueno, hoy estoy aquí porque no queremos que esto suceda, ¿verdad? No queremos que siga pasando más injusticias de lo que está pasando ya con Newark y otros estados. Y no queremos una cárcel aquí en nuestra ciudad, ni en ninguna ciudad. Llegué hace 8 años a este país, vivo hace 8 años en la ciudad de Elizabeth con mi esposo y mi hijo, quien llevo a la escuela todos los días. Y me preocupa que se cree un centro de detención de inmigrantes en la ciudad. Eso nos hace sentir inseguros, no poder transitar libremente y muchas familias se verán afectadas.
My name is Nidia. I'm a member of Make the Road, and I have lived in this country, and I've lived in the city of Elizabeth for 8 years. I live here with my husband and my children, and I worry so much about what it would be like to have another center of detention here in the city.
Muchas familias hemos venido a este país a buscar un mejor futuro, refugiándonos de la violencia de nuestros países. Y seguimos viviendo en preocupación con las redadas.
We came to this country seeking refuge, me, my son, and my daughter, and lots of people continue to do so. But now we live in constant fear of raid.
O sea, nosotros vinimos a este país a buscar nuevas oportunidades, a salir adelante. Trabajamos duro y nos preparamos en algunos estudios, sacando títulos profesionales y contribuyendo a este país con la economía.
I work hard, my children go to school, and we're moving this economy.
Actualmente el gobierno no reconoce esto. El gobierno pinta a los inmigrantes de una forma negativa.
But right now, the Trump administration is painting a much different picture of immigrants.
Y esto demuestra el racismo, la discriminación a las personas de color.
Today, you can almost taste the racism and the discrimination.
Y otras cosas importantes que están afectando a nuestro país. Sin embargo, se enfocan en aterrorizar y sacarnos y divulgar cosas malas de los inmigrantes.
Mira, esto es una coca.
¿Qué queremos?
No quieren nada.
¡Justicia!
No quieren
¿Y
nada.
cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y 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 cuándo?
Ahora.
ICE out of Jersey!
ICE out of Jersey.
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 Free them all!
Free them all.
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 ¡La policía viene! ¡Viene la poli!
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
Ahora. ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
All right, so as you can see, there's a little bit of attention from passerbys right now, but we're speakers are going ahead with their speech right now.
Bueno, por eso estamos hoy aquí y le pedimos a los representantes del condado de Union que escuchen sus residentes y no a las megacorporaciones. No queremos más casos en nuestra comunidad. Esto solamente causará más daño a nuestras comunidades. Gracias, compañeros, por estar aquí hoy.
That's why we're here today, to make sure that Union County doesn't enter business with mega corporations and instead invest in families like mine. ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
I'd like to bring up Adam McGovern with Wind of the Spirit.
So again, despite the interruption, really important speech here, really important to hear immigrant voices firsthand.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. I hope, let's make sure they can hear us up there. Now, some of you, as you know, I had a chance to see what people who presume to stand above us, to be given positions of authority, what it looks like when they actually stand with us. When Bonnie Watson-Coleman and Reps Menendez and MacGyver put themselves literally on the line in front of Delaney Hall, and the mayor, of course, of a sovereign U.S. city ended up being treated like a common criminal. Now, they're being treated like this by super criminals, people who are operating illegally and trespassing to begin with. They are the invasion that they want to claim, and it's up to us to stand against it. I'm glad to see all of you, standing as the wall in the way of this, and we're going to go inside and let them know that we're also not to be moved until they move this out of our town and our state. Thanks.
ICE out of Jersey!
ICE out of Jersey.
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 I'd like to bring up Nancy Vega, member of Make the Road. ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Y cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
Compañeros, buenas tardes, gracias por estar acá. Realmente esto es lo que nosotros necesitamos, la unión de toda la comunidad para enfrentarnos a todas las políticas irregulares que está habiendo en esta ciudad. Realmente mi nombre es Nancy Vega, soy miembro de la organización Se Hace Camino. Estamos acá ahora luchando por esta locura, se puede decir, de incorporarnos en nuestra comunidad, en nuestro county, a estas clases de cárceles o de separación de familias o todo lo que se pueda decir. Nosotros somos inmigrantes, tenemos muchos años trabajando, viviendo en esta ciudad para una mejoría, no para empeorar ni para separar familias. Por eso todos estamos acá, compañeros. Entonces, todos necesitamos de nuestro apoyo, inviten a sus amigos, inviten a sus familias. Muchos de nosotros tenemos parientes, amigos que necesitan saber de lo que está pasando en nuestra comunidad. Entonces la unión, como decimos, hace la fuerza. Lo único que queremos es respeto y dignidad. Entonces, compañeros, ¿se puede?
¡Sí se puede!
¿Se puede?
¡Sí se puede!
¿Y cómo se puede, compañeros? Luchando, creando poder popular. Luchando, creando poder popular.
I'm going to translate a bit for Nancy. Nancy's a long-time Union County resident and is very happy to see so many folks. This is exactly what we need if we are going to stop Trump's deportation machine. We have been able to do incredible things in the last week of loans. When Mayor Ras Baraka was arrested, within hours, he was released. They had every intention of keeping him over the weekend. They had every intention of keeping him even longer. But because so many community members answered the call, we were able to move mountains. And we know that even now, this bid and this auction could have moved much faster than it currently is. Right? The county has every intention of trying to wait until things get quieter, until folks stop showing up. And that won't ever happen. ¿Sí se puede?
¡Sí se puede!
¿Sí se puede?
¡Sí se puede!
¿Sí se puede?
¡Sí se puede!
¿Y cómo?
Luchando, creando poder popular. Luchando, creando poder popular.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
I'd like to bring up Susan. So, Susan is a member of Soma Action and also a part of the Solidarity Singers.
And has been at many of the vigils every single day outside of Baltimore.
Okay, so today a lot of us were at the federal courthouse in Newark. I was able to go in. I was in the courtroom itself, and basically what's going on is our so-called U.S. Attorney, Elena Haba, was sitting behind the U.S. Attorney. He seemed a little not very enthusiastic. The mayor has a really great defense team led by Ray Brown Jr. They're going to be really good. But what they're doing is they're charging the mayor with trespass. I just went on the website. It's a ridiculous charge. And they're going to fight. It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. But that's why we have to stand up, because if ICE comes out and grabs the mayor of the largest city in New Jersey and pushes around 3 members of Congress, if it wasn't clear before, no one is safe at all. We all have to stand up against this lunacy. It's really terrible. We have to keep showing up. You know, here and there we've got to just keep showing up. We can't stop. And that's what we will do.
Voy a traducir un poco. Yo me llamo Susan y hoy tenía la oportunidad de entrar al corte con el alcalde Como estaba diciendo antes, ellos tomaron la decisión que van a llevar al alcalde Ras Baraka al corte, pero es súper importante que estamos viniendo mes atrás de mes para que ellos no piensen que estamos olvidando de este cárcel y que no estamos tomando acción. ¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
No ICE jails! No ICE jails! No ICE jails! No ICE jails! So folks that have been here before, you all know the drill. We have a responsibility not just to be outside, but we have a responsibility to make sure that we're going inside and we're sharing testimony. All folks who live in the county and who live in the state of New Jersey are welcome to make testimony, and you should, right? We want to make sure that we're constantly reminding our commissioners about our position. It is so important that we are here 1 week after the arrest of Mayor Ras Baraka to make it very clear and to draw the connection for the commissioners if they are unable to draw the connections themselves. To invite ICE into our city, again, ×2, they're already here in the city of Elizabeth, is to invite chaos. You cannot put parameters on a police state. You cannot put parameters on an authoritarian regime. So don't invite it to begin with. And make commitments that you will make every effort to protect all people who live in this city and this county, and you will protect people across the country, because when people are detained, it's not just about Jersey, folks. Anybody could be detained here. ¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
¿Qué queremos?
¡Justicia!
¿Y cuándo?
¡Ahora!
I also want to shout out our friends from La Resistencia en Acción who are here tonight. So in the next 10 minutes, we're all going to head inside. Just so folks know, it is one metal detector, so it does take some time to enter. And we're asking, even if you are not giving testimony this evening, be in solidarity. Show that we have filled up all the seats this evening for the 3rd month in a row to remind them that we are not interested in detention. This is where the fight begins, in the small moments before it's too late. Aquí es donde está la lucha, en los momentos pequeños antes que viene el horror.
Eyes out of Jersey!
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 Deportations, no family separation!
No detention, deportations, no family separation!
No detentions, deportations, no family separation!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear!
Immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Up with liberation, down with deportation!
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 No hate, no fear, immigrants are welcome here!
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 Eyes out of Jersey!
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 No detention, deportation, no family separation!
No family separation!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome.
In just a few minutes, protesters and organizers are going to head into the Union City Administration Building, and we're going to talk to some organizers about exactly what they're doing tonight and why they've been showing up.
Welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here!
Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy
democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Eyes off of Jersey.
Ice out of Jersey.
Eyes off of Jersey.
Ice out of Jersey.
Vamos a cantar para que nos escuchen allá arriba. Eyes off of Jersey.
As you guys can see, this is a really small group here tonight, but it just kind of underscores the importance of showing up whenever and wherever our rights are under attack. And we do need your support to continue doing this. So if you can, please become a paid member of Status Coup at statuscoup.com/join so John and I can keep covering these protests.
Who's going to read you the testimony that she's going to share this evening.
Hello everyone. I'm sad we have to be here. I'm angry we have to be here, but I'm glad we're here together to resist. So I'm here tonight with Resistencia en Acción, and I'm going to be reading tonight on behalf of one of my colleagues, one of the leaders in the community who was arrested, given 3 charges for not doing anything. We were standing supporting the clergy members. They zeroed in on her, they attacked her, and our other colleague, Jorge. It was clear they did nothing. They did nothing. So it was very upsetting. So on behalf, so this was in Newark. Yeah, and they kept them till past 2 o'clock in the morning, and our whole crowd was here, till 2 in the morning. So here's what I'll be reading on her behalf tonight. Okay, so good evening, commissioners. My name is Ayel, and I'm a rapid responder with Resistencia in New Jersey. I am here to read a testimony on behalf of Esme Aludi, a fellow Resistencia member who could not be here tonight. Testimony from Esme. Good evening, commissioners. I'm sorry I cannot be here with you in person, but I appreciate the opportunity to share a few words since my last testimony. I was arrested for protesting the opening of Delaney Hall, a federal immigration detention center in Newark that was once a jail. Although many clergy and peaceful demonstrators were present, I was still taken into custody. This is what the system is built to do: criminalize, target, and silence black and brown bodies. While I was in custody, I witnessed firsthand the conditions that people are subjected to. The meals provided were poor quality. It was clear that those detained were not seen of deserving the most basic needs of care. This treatment is a painful reminder that the reasons people wind up in detention to begin with is because they were regarded as less than human, born to be the wrong skin tone, the wrong language, and religion. As someone who often faces discrimination by the system, I cannot overstate the urgency of intentionally avoiding the creation of these sites of punishment, because history has shown us that they will be filled, and oftentimes by those whom society deems as undesirable. This is about a system where black and brown people are funneled from the prison system to immigration detention, treated as disposable at every stage. I urge this commission to take a clear stand, oppose the expansion of detention centers, and fight for policies that respect the dignity and humanity of all people, regardless of immigration status. We are not asking for special treatment here, but instead we are asking for the assurance that tools created to target our communities are never built in the first place. For those who bid for these buildings, says what we will accept as possibility. Thank you for your time and consideration. So thank you.
Compas, ya vamos a empezar de entrar. So friends, we're going to start heading in. You can follow Eva down and we're going to make our way inside. We cannot take banners or signs, so I'm going to ask that you leave them here in the wagon. So vamos a empezar de entrar. No podemos llevar las banderas. Y vamos a hacernos en fila para entrar. Pueden seguir abajo.
All right. So as you guys heard, protesters are going to, protestation organizers are going to head into the building. Right now they're folding up their banners and all of that stuff, and we will be following them into the building. And once we're waiting online, we're going to talk to some organizers again about what they're doing tonight and why they've been showing up in general.
Eyes out of Jersey!
Eyes out of Jersey!
When I say immigrants, you say power! Immigrants! Immigrants! When I say immigrants, you say power! Immigrants!
Power!
Immigrants!
Power!
When I say immigrants, you say power! Immigrants!
Power!
Immigrants!
Power!
Immigrants!
Power!
Eyes out of Jersey!
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 Say it now! Say it clear!
Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! Say it loud! Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome
Excuse me.
Wow, say it clear.
We're trying to get an idea of why people showed up here tonight.
I live in Elizabeth. I do not want this prison here. I've been here for 46 years. My kids were each married to immigrants, and they got their citizenship after they were married. It's horrible what's going on. It's just horrible. So I'm here to speak out to Union County.
I appreciate that. Is this the first time that you've come out?
I was here the first week, but we were away the first month we were here. I've been to Delaney Hall, as many of these as I can get to. We were down at on Fairlandhausen Avenue when Roz Baraka was being held there. So the more we can do and get out, the better for everybody. Certainly for immigrants that have every right to be here.
And it's, as a resident of New Jersey, as a resident of this area, of Elizabeth, this must be kind of frightening because New Jersey, as the speakers said earlier, is becoming quickly the epicenter of the on the ground effects of these horribly callous immigration policies.
Absolutely. And the fact is, these are all Democrats. They're supposed to be out there fighting. Why aren't they fighting? Why are they trying to sell a jail to ICE? My sign said, build affordable housing, not jails. And we've worked towards that end. My husband and I founded the Elizabeth Coalition to house the homeless. We've been fighting for homeless people for the past 40 years. And this is just horrendous. I thought Democrats shared our values.
I think that a lot of our viewers will relate to your feeling of frustration with Democrats. I mean,
Well, you've got ones that were standing up. You had Roz Baraka, you had his three congressmen. Our congressman was there, Bob Menendez. I was happy to see that after I've been calling his office about everything else. So there are some, but they got to step up. And this is outrageous.
For sure. And I guess I would want to ask, so we've been out here interviewing people, and for everyone who is saying, I interviewed someone a few days ago who was saying that they're a resident and they feel like Roz Baraka has shown up for the immigrant community of Newark, but not anyone else in Newark. What would you say to those people?
No, I disagree. He's been very progressive. I've followed him, and I understand that, he shares my values.
What would you say about other Democrats on the national stage? What would you want them to be doing to meet this moment? Because it's abundantly clear that they are not
out there doing anything from my point of view is Bernie. And he's out there and he's talking about working people, and what the working people that voted for Trump just don't seem to get it. Till maybe their Medicaid is cut and they're losing their jobs. They just don't understand what this is all about. And hopefully it'll turn around. You know, we're not going to give up hope, and we're going to continue to fight.
What would you say to people? So you've been organizing for a long time, clearly. You've been running an organization for 40 years. What would you say to the Status Coup viewers who are watching and who are just kind of dumbstruck by everything that's happening right now but haven't gotten involved? What would you tell them?
You've got to get out there. Nothing's going to happen until there's a mass movement. And without a mass movement, change will not happen. And it's one thing to sit at home and shout at the TV set. It's something else to get out here and shout, you know, for nobody else but yourself. You'll feel better about it if you get out there and feel like you're contributing to a positive direction.
And even if we lose, at least then we have tried.
That's right. That's right.
Do you have any final thoughts that you would want to share with viewers of Status?
Which is
you can find us on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube.com, and you'll find us there. Thank you so much. It was really nice speaking with you.
You too.
All right. So we will continue talking to people while they're waiting online to enter the Union City Administration building.
No fear, immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear, immigrants are welcome here.
No hate, no fear, immigrants are welcome here.
Eyes out, Jersey! Eyes out, Jersey!
Would you mind speaking with us at Status Coup about why you showed up today? If you have other thoughts you might want to add.
I'd love to. I have to pee so bad, so I feel like I'd be jumping around. Can I talk to you? I really have to pee.
No papers, no fear! No papers, no fear! No papers, no fear! No papers, no fear! Eyes out,
Hey.
Do you want to talk with us now?
Yes, happy to. Yes.
Eyes
All right, I will just.
Jersey! Eyes out, Jersey!
Cool.
Eyes out!
All right, so this is Nydia. We spoke earlier. You are one of the organizers of Make the Road New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay, and you gave me a lot of backstory on what's happening here. So before I ask what you guys are actually doing here tonight, do you want to maybe recap a little bit of what you said, just so that it's abundantly clear for viewers that this is not just about Delaney Hall, this is about New Jersey, and it quickly, as you said, becoming the epicenter of immigration policy on the ground.
Yes. Yeah. So we are standing in front of the Union County Jail complex, and so since March 27th, this building has been up for auction, and our community concern is that this jail will be auctioned off to private prison that will then contract with federal agents that will use the facility to detain and deport people and separate families. And so we have been here every single month for the last 3 months to say that we are not interested in another ICE facility, another ICE jail. We are about 10 blocks away, a little less than 10 blocks away from the Elizabeth Detention Center. And so all of this, like you said before, is connected to what is happening at Delaney. Jersey is quickly becoming the epicenter of immigration detention in the country. And what we have seen over the last couple of months has been an escalation. We have seen that the Trump administration has made immigration detention a focal point of their administration. And the effort at Delaney Hall was not just an overreach of their power, but also a strong example and a strong calling to groups like ours that we must make sure that fascism isn't happening in the dark and that we can build cities and counties that are fortresses of resistance. And so why aren't we doing that? We saw Mayor Baraka answer that call and has done so for the last 2 months and put his body on the line last Friday when he said that we need to make sure that this building has permitting and that we need to make sure that they're not cutting any loopholes in order to detain and separate families. And we need the same commitment from Union County commissioners here tonight to say, after everything, and especially after what happened last Friday, that it would be unconscionable, unthinkable to imagine that any ICE facility could operate with parameters, that really we could potentially siphon people off from each other. It's just not possible. And to invite ICE into our community for a second time, because they're already just 10 blocks away, is to invite chaos and terror into our families, into our homes, into our schools. And you can see where we are. This is the main library. We're 2 blocks away from 2 of the high schools, and we are in Midtown right now. We are not in an industrial area. We are not in a rural area. To have ICE here would be increased ICE presence, increased racial profile, putting all of our communities at risk, our businesses at risk. And so why take the chance? We don't need an immigration detention center. We need is housing. We need workforce development. There are lots of things that our community needs and has needed for decades. And we need commissioners to make public statements that they would never contract with immigration.
And I think it's important to note, too, that Delaney Hall is like 20 minutes away from here.
Yes.
It's right over here. So even though that is not within Mayor Ras Baraka's jurisdiction, it is still right in the same area. And you know, as someone who is running for governor, I would hope that he also makes a stand against what's happening here, as well as what's happening at the other detention center in Elizabeth.
Yes. And the mayor actually came and testified at the very first hearing and was with us shoulder and shoulder, saying that we needed to shut down and that the auction should never even be considered. And that was the night that the vote took place. And so the mayor has made statements, so has Mayor Fulop, and the city of Elizabeth, the council of Elizabeth, Assemblywoman Annette Quijano, Senator Joe Cryan. And so we have seen elected officials come and take the charge. And so we are just waiting on our Union County commissioners to follow suit. And they should. Now is the time to do the right thing. And there couldn't be any more clear signs that this is a mistake. It is a mistake to put this jail up for auction.
And we heard from a few residents of Elizabeth, of this surrounding area, who are immigrants, who, you know, gave impassioned speeches about how frightened they are right now. I cannot think of a more frightening situation to have these detention centers right in this area where, as you said, there's a library right there, the high schools are right there, and then the prospect of another one being added to this area where, again, there is an extremely large immigrant community.
And the common factor here, right, is how close we are to Newark Airport. How we currently are to Newark, how currently close we are to Newark Airport, how close Delaney Hall is to Newark Airport. And so, you know, this is all about making money, right? Geo Group and Core Civic are 2 of the largest billion-dollar corporations in the entire world. And they have the ability in order to move folks around so they can continue to invoice the federal government. And this is really about how are we keeping wages even lower so that we can keep profits even higher. And so we need to make sure that we're standing up really strong against mega corporations like Geo Group and Core Civic and not allowing our Union County commissioners to be swayed by a fiduciary responsibility that would actually detain the people that make this economy so strong.
I think that's an extremely important note to kind of just like underscore the amount of money that is being made from people's misery, from people being separated from their families here. This isn't just about a racist immigration policy. I mean, it certainly is, but there's also a financial incentive for these companies to be doing this. And like you said, people being moved around from here to facilities in Louisiana, that makes money for these companies.
Yep. And that's exactly what we've seen. We've seen that even after the immediate arrest of Mayor Ras Baraka, that the very next day, folks were detained in Elizabeth. We've seen folks being detained from New York and being put in Delaney and then quickly being moved to Louisiana. And the Delaney Hall hasn't even been open 14 days. And it doesn't have any permitting. What do we think would happen here? And this, again, is right in downtown. And for folks that don't have the context, Make the Road, New Jersey's community center is right here, where we host a welcome center every single month that receives between 400 and 700 new arrivals. We also have our DMV that's down the block where that building is, where that parking lot is. And so this is like a very active and busy area. And just to sort of draw a picture of where it is that we'd be bringing ICE.
I mean, that's crazy. This is like a community hub. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's really scary. And I would want to ask, so this is the 3rd month that your organization has done this again, Make the Road New Jersey. What can we expect to see tonight?
So I think, you know, what we have heard from the inside is that there are no bids to consider, right? We do believe that it is potentially a tactic, right? That try to see if just public interest dies down so they could, you know, slip in bids past. But we need to make sure that we're keeping up the pressure. So what you'll see tonight is for a third month in a row, the rooms being totally full at capacity, and that you'll see a line of probably 20 or 30 people who will testify tonight about how they don't want to see detention. And you'll see the refrain from the commissioners say, like, there's nothing on the agenda, there's nothing on the agenda. But we have a responsibility until we hear public statements to do everything that we can to make sure that we're ending detention in this state.
Thank you so much. I would just ask if you have any other final thoughts that you would want to share with viewers of Status Coup.
No, I think that's everything. Thank you again so much for covering this work.
Of course. Thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Okay, so the line to get into the Union County Administration building is shrinking, so we are going to follow people inside and show you guys what's happening on the ground. For everyone watching, this is a small action tonight, but I think it's important to just keep in mind that the ramifications of all of this affect everyone. So it's not just about what happens here in New Jersey, and while that's extremely important, this is a national issue. So I'm going to read some super chats while we're hanging outside, and the line to get in starts to again dwindle. So Elliot Gonzalez said, "Love you, Ashley. Keep up the awesome work." Oh, that's very sweet. We are trying. We are trying. Sixth Sense Amelia, thank you for the super chat. TechKite7 has been a member for 2 months. They say, "Thank you, Status Coup, for the amazing coverage. No matter how small, these little groups need a voice too, not just the big ones." I very much appreciate that and very much agree. And again, like I just said, I think it's important to note that even if this is a small action tonight, the ramifications of what happened here are exceedingly important. And TechKite7 also said, "Love from Colorado. Thank you both for the comp." Also, F Trump, United We Stand. Thank you. And they also add, "A sickness known as hate, not a virus, not a microbe, not a germ, but a sickness nonetheless, highly contagious, deadly in its effect. Don't look for it in the Twilight Zone, look for it in a mirror," from Rod Serling, who is the creator of the Twilight Zone. So thank you for that. I think that's a very prescient quote. And we want to welcome new YouTube members, Curious Georgia, I like that, JG and Kaiser, new website members, Michelle and Max, and thank you for the donations from Tobiah, who says, "Keep up the good fight, stay indie, stay bold." We are doing our best, thank you. And 50 from Edwin, who said, "I am happy to help out a little bit. I hope you keep growing. Very happy to have seen a picture of Jordan's little one. May he grow up to be the U.S. president." That would be excellent. We hope that too. So thank you guys again for the super chats, and welcome new members, and thank you for the donations. Every little bit helps us to stay on the ground and keep covering all of these fights, small and large, and we want to continue doing more of them. And again, we need your support to do that. So join us at statuscoup.com/join. Okay.
All right, everyone, just a minute. Ashley is going to go in and find out if we are allowed inside, if we are allowed to film inside. I doubt it, but we will see. Just ask them before you wait. All right, but if we are not able to get in with our gear, we'll probably cut the live stream here. We can wait over there, and they will come down and let us know. They might let us in. I asked very nicely. Okay. I think we will cut it. Okay. And just record. I'm not sure. Just bear with us for 1 second, guys. We're trying to figure out if we can go in and film for you guys. It's going to take us a second to work out logistics and whether or not we have permission to do this. So just hang tight with us.
you guys independent? I'm used to seeing the big cameras.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
What is it? Oh,
we're on YouTube.
I got family. One's at NBC, one's at CBS.
Oh, okay. Work in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm used to seeing the big cameras and stuff like that. I'm like, this guy's got a little, little camera.
We're independent.
he's always in New York doing whatever coverage down that way.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, so I've probably seen him out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the two brothers. They kind of look alike, and you probably would.
On the camera?
Yeah, they probably do a lot of big stories and stuff like that. So.
Okay, nice.
It was like, yeah, we're Emmy winning. I was like, who cares? I was like, the whole group got it. You know what I mean? I was like, the reporter did the job, he did the editing. I was like, whatever.
It wasn't like a solo project.
Nah. You know what though? I didn't realize you don't really put together what it really takes to get it done.
Yeah.
Or let's say you're the reporter and you run it, right? You're like, but they still gotta make it look good, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work, a lot of production.
Yeah, he was even telling me I was surprised at like some of these bigger outfits. Like over the years he brought out like the 360 camera and he puts out his book bag and stuff, and like you did that with that. So then they'll go and buy things like that, just to kind of change the level of experience when they do stuff. A lot of people,
everybody's doing that, yeah.
Well,
are we allowed? Are we allowed inside with gear?
I was just told someone was going to ask.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Oh,
I'll ask right now. I just got here. I mean, we don't. I mean, with what's going on now, we probably think people are going to be up there. I don't know if they're going to be honest with you, but I'll ask.
Okay.
I don't know.
Appreciate it.
We don't typically have too much drama. Like my cousin says all the time, Union County doesn't talk in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, just give us a story. I was like, what do you want me to give you, man? To us, you guys from around here? No.
No.
Where you guys from?
From New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Locally, most things run normal. I think the last big thing was like the bomb thing a couple years back.
Okay.
The bomb went off. The same guy that bombed like Seaside Heights. You guys
I don't remember this.
You guys knew the news or something, or what?
I don't remember.
Then there was a shootout. No.
I think I remember the shootout.
There's so much stuff going on.
Or even remember Kai the hitchhiker? Remember that guy?
I think so.
That he was like lowered, and then he was lowered into this guy's house, and he said this guy raped him, something like that. And
so that
he hit him with a hatchet, but he was on YouTube prior to that, like in California. That was on a hatchet.
I remember that.
You gotta look this up. But we don't get the big.
Yeah.
Let me ask. I'll get you guys an answer.
All right. Cool. Appreciate it. You wanna just go in?
Okay, sorry for the pause, guys. So we are waiting to see the police officer that we were just speaking to, so that he's going to go upstairs and see if we can come in and film and get people's testimony. So just hang with us while we're waiting. We're going to find out hopefully in just a minute or so. And it looks like the line of people has made their way, into the building. So we're just going to hang here. I think we are being beckoned in. So it looks like we are being given permission, I think, to film.
Okay, you also want to go up there now to find out, or to just wait over here?
Thank you so much. All right, so we are in a second location waiting to see if we can film. So again, hang with us while we are waiting here.
Hopefully it's in the car. Hopefully you call it. See that it's in the car. Thank you.
So again, we are waiting in the Union City Administration Building, where residents are going to be testifying against the construction of a third facility in this area. So there's the Delaney Hall facility in Newark. There is also the Core Civic facility in Elizabeth, and they are currently, bids will begin to be placed on a potential third facility here, and people will be telling the city why they don't want a third immigration detention facility here tonight.
Hi. 4:30. 4:30. Yeah. What time is that open? At 8:34.
Okay. Is it this building?
First floor.
First floor.
Like, what are you trying to do specifically?
Well, I need to show them case that's in their proceeding, but they can
that would be first floor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Virgil? How are you doing, man? Hello, good? How you doing? Have a great day. Take care. Take care.
I was here last time. They've already taken IDs. Well, what was the village doing then?
I'm curious, do you guys have any thoughts on the potential third facility being built here?
We got no comments, man. It's not public. Oh shit! Yeah, I think
I don't think there's a meeting right now. I'm just checking with someone. Oh, what's the meeting? Right up here. Just say it's
All right, guys, we don't want to keep you on the live stream hanging forever, especially aren't actually allowed to go in. So we're going to wrap up the live stream here again in Elizabeth in front of the Union City Administration Building, where people are going to be testifying against a third facility in this area, third immigration detention facility in this area. We are going to wait and see if we get permission to go film. If we do, instead of continuing on with the live stream, we're going to record it and we will post it for you guys to see later. So thank you for hanging with us and being patient while we're trying to work this out. We will be back soon. John and I will be back on the ground soon. And before I let you all go, please, if you can, become a paid member of Status Coup at statuscoup.com/join so that we can do more of these protests. Again, tonight was a very small action, but the ramifications of this are extremely important for all of us, and it costs us money and resources, time, all of that stuff to be able to cover all of these protests, big and small. This is our second live stream of the day. So again, it takes a lot to do this. So please become a sustaining member of Status Coup at statuscoup.com/join, and we will see you on the next live stream. Bye. Okay, do you want to keep with the live stream?
Yeah, let's see. Hope. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just gotta put this. You can put it on the side. Okay.
Okay.
Just gotta get you